The man who buys a $50 Spier and Mackay dress shirt knows something the man buying a $150 department store shirt has not figured out yet. Same Italian cotton mills. Same Egyptian thread. By the end of this video, you will know the 10 brands men with that knowledge actually buy. Brand number 1, Spier and Mackay, Canadian dress shirt and suit maker, direct-to-consumer model with limited retail presence. The cost structure that makes the price possible. The fabric sourcing reads like a premium menswear specification sheet. 100% Egyptian cotton from the same Italian and Turkish mills that supply dress shirts at 3 to 5 times the price. Thomas Mason, Albini, Tessitura-Monti, Suktash. These are not generic mill names. These are the supply houses that feed the most respected names in European shirt manufacturing. The construction details run 19 to 20 stitches per inch. Premium tier, single needle side seams, reverse fused 9-piece collar with German interlining, natural shell buttons, not plastic. Retail runs $50 to $80 per dress shirt. The suit line runs $400 to $600. While most men pay $150 at department stores for shirts with fused collars and plastic buttons, the man who has figured out the supply chain buys Spier and Mackay at $50. Same Italian and Turkish mills, same Egyptian cotton, same German interlining, mother of pearl buttons. The construction is $200 tier. The price is $50. The difference is the absence of retail markup, advertising budget, and brand equity premium. Smart men know that the markup chain between a Thomas Mason mill in Lancashire and a department store rack adds $100 to a shirt without changing a single thread of the construction. Spier and Mackay removes that chain. The customer pays for the shirt. Brand number 2, Kamakura Shirts. Founded in 1993 in Kamakura, Japan by Yoshio and Tamiko Sarasue. Yoshio Sarasue worked at Van Jacket, the legendary Japanese Ivy-style pioneer, before founding the brand. The DNA of American Ivy League dress shirts, executed with Japanese manufacturing discipline. 25 stores in Japan, limited U.S. presence. The Madison Avenue, New York flagship closed before the pandemic. Most U.S. sales now run through direct online order, made in Japan throughout. The construction at the entry tier is the central proof of what Japanese craftsmanship at scale looks like. Unfused collars at $79. Most American buyers have never owned an unfused collar at any price under $300. The buyer who knows where to look owns Kamakura, mother of pearl buttons. Single needle stitching, high stitches per inch density, hand-finished cuff details. The cotton is extra long staple, including Sea Island and West Indian cotton on the premium tier, the same grades that appear in $500 Italian shirts. Retail runs $79 to $120 at the entry tier. For the American buyer accustomed to fused construction at every price point under $200, the first Kamakura experience is a different category of garment entirely. The collar is soft, the collar moves. The collar does not feel like cardboard sewn between 2 layers of fabric. Smart men know the Japanese yen versus dollar exchange rate has made this proposition true for the last decade. $79 buys construction that competes with $150 Italian production. The buyer who knows this has been quietly winning since the brand opened its U.S. online channel. Brand number 3, Buck Mason. Founded in 2013 in Los Angeles by Eric Allen Ford and Sasha Cohen. Modern American classics with a heritage aesthetic and modern fits. The brand earned this position for one specific decision. Buck Mason acquired BM Knitting Mills in Monton, Pennsylvania, a century-old American knitting mill on the verge of permanent closure. The brand bought the mill. They hired the craftsmen who had worked there for generations. They preserved a piece of American textile manufacturing infrastructure that would otherwise have been dismantled and sold for parts. The vertical integration is unusual in 2026 American apparel. Cotton is grown in California, Texas, and Georgia. Spun and knit at the Monton Mill, cut and sewn under American oversight. The field spec heavy tee weighs 310 grams per square meter, a premium heavyweight that most American t-shirt brands have abandoned for cheaper Asian production. The Pima tees use 140 GSM USA-grown Supima cotton. Retail runs $48 to $65 for t-shirts, higher for shirts and pants. Smart men know that 100% USA-grown, USA-milled, USA-sewn cotton apparel at this scale and this price point is rare in 2026. Most heritage brands abandoned American milling decades ago when private equity restructuring forced cost extraction. Buck Mason did the opposite. They bought the mill that was about to close. The customer paying $60 for a Buck Mason t-shirt is paying for an American textile manufacturing chain that survived because one company chose preservation over outsourcing. The price reflects the truth of how the garment is made, not a markup over offshored production. Brand number 4, Reigning Champ Lightweight Jersey. Founded in 2007 in Vancouver, Canada by Craig Atkinson. Vancouver is the same city that headquarters one of the largest premium athleisure brands in the world. The construction model is the opposite. Reigning Champ manufactures its core line in its own Vancouver workshops. Made in Canada, documented, verifiable on the label. The lightweight jersey t-shirt, the brand's signature gym product, is 100% cotton. Flat lock seamed for athletic wear. Athletic snug cut designed for movement. Retail runs $55 to $75 per t-shirt. The Vancouver versus Vancouver comparison is the central proof point. The well-known premium athleisure brand contracts manufacturing across China, Vietnam, and Indonesia at retail prices in the $90 to $100 range per t-shirt. Reigning Champ manufactures in Vancouver workshops at $60 retail. Smart men know the same city address can mean two different supply chains. The headquarters location on the marketing materials does not guarantee where the garment was actually made. The label tells the truth that the headquarters does not. For the gym customer who wants verified Canadian manufacturing, 100% cotton construction, and athletic cut detailing at $60, Reigning Champ delivers what the more famous Vancouver address does not. Country of origin transparency at a price differential most buyers will pay once they know what the alternative actually contains. The buyer who has figured this out wears Reigning Champ to the gym. The man who has not figured it out yet pays $40 more for offshored production. Brand number 5, Allen Edmonds, founded in 1922 in Belgium, Wisconsin, currently headquartered in Port Washington, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin factory still operates today. More than a century of continuous American shoemaking at the same location. Allen Edmonds is the only American dress shoemaker still operating at this scale. The construction is 360-degree Goodyear bench welt, the most labor-intensive welt method in production today. The Park Avenue Cap-Toe Oxford is the signature model, continuous production for decades. Retail runs $400 to $500 on mainline, $300 during the anniversary sale every April. Smart men buy Allen Edmonds for one specific reason: recraft. The customer sends his worn shoes back to the Port Washington factory. The factory rebuilds them. New soles, new heel, new midsole. The original uppers continue. The original insoles continue. The shoe returns to the customer, rebuilt to factory specifications for $135 to $150. The math defines the brand. A $400 pair of Park Avenue Oxfords purchased today, with 3 recrafts spread across the next 30 years, will cost the buyer approximately $850 total. The same pair will outlive most of the wardrobe the buyer accumulates around them. The man who has figured out the long-term economics buys Allen Edmonds and recrafts. The man who has not figured this out yet buys cemented Asian production dress shoes every 2 years and spends $3,000 across the same 30-year span. The Wisconsin factory is the only operation of its scale still producing American Goodyear welted dress shoes. There is no equivalent. There is no substitute. Smart men know this. If you have figured out that the brand on the label is rarely the construction inside, subscribe. No sponsorships on this channel. No brand deals that influence rankings. Just the brands smart men actually buy. Brand number 6, Beckett Simonon. Founded in November 2012 in Bogota, Colombia by Nicolas Hurtado and Andres Niño. Made to order direct-to-consumer model. The shoes are produced after the customer orders. No retail inventory, no warehouse stock. The construction is Blake stitched. Resolable by any competent cobbler. Slimmer profile than Goodyear welted, with a cleaner aesthetic that suits dressier styling. The leather is full grain from the Mastrato tannery in Italy, gold rated by the Leather Working Group with sustainability certification. 150 manual production steps per shoe, hand finished by Colombian artisans. Production timeline 6 to 12 weeks from order to delivery. Retail runs $200 to $250. A regular promotion offers 2 pairs for $319, bringing the per pair cost to approximately $160 for full-grain Italian leather, Blake stitched, made-to-order construction. The Trustpilot rating sits at 4.8 out of 5 across more than 10,000 verified reviews. Smart men understand the made-to-order direct-to-consumer model. The shoe is produced specifically for the customer's order. There is no inventory cost, no warehouse cost, no retail floor space cost, no middleman markup. The savings flow directly to the price. The buyer who waits 10 weeks pays $200 for a shoe that costs $400 to $600 from any traditional retail brand at the same construction tier. The patience is the discount. The man who has figured out the math waits 10 weeks for Beckett Simonon. The man who has not figured this out yet pays $400 at the department store for an inferior cemented alternative. Brand number 7, Filson. Founded in 1897 in Seattle, Washington by Clinton C. Filson, the original outfitter for Klondike Gold Rush prospectors heading north to the Yukon. The brand has been making outdoor and workwear apparel for more than a century. The signature materials are tin cloth and Mackinaw wool. Tin cloth is paraffin-waxed cotton canvas, virtually waterproof, and built to last decades of outdoor exposure. Mackinaw wool is a heavy virgin wool melton, the same fabric construction that outfitted prospectors against Yukon winters in 1897. The same tin cloth and the same Mackinaw wool are in production today. The lifetime guarantee is real. The customer sends the jacket back when it fails. Filson repairs it. The repair model has continued for over a century, surviving multiple ownership transitions and the modern temptation to abandon long-tail customer obligations. Manufacturing is mixed. Some products made in Seattle, others contracted American and overseas, with country of origin transparently labeled. Retail runs $200 to $600 for outerwear. Premium tiers run higher. Smart men know that a Filson tin cloth jacket purchased in 2026 is the same construction that outfitted prospectors in 1897. The waxed canvas behaves the same way. The seams are sewn the same way. The wear pattern develops the same way. The repair system works the same way. For the buyer who wants outerwear that survives decades of use and improves in character through every season of wear, Filson is the only brand at this scale operating at this level of construction continuity. The man who has figured out heritage outerwear buys Filson and waits for the wax to develop patina. Brand number 8, Origin Maine. Founded by Pete Roberts in Farmington, Maine, fully USA made, vertically integrated American manufacturing across the entire production chain. Cotton grown in the United States, milled in the United States, cut and sewn in the United States. This level of vertical integration in a single American operation is what most heritage brands abandoned in the 1990s when private equity restructuring forced the offshoring decisions that defined the next 30 years. Origin Maine reversed that pattern. The brand built American manufacturing infrastructure from scratch in the 21st century, at a moment when the entire industry was moving in the opposite direction. The product range originated in the jiu-jitsu and martial arts community and expanded into broader workwear, denim, jiu-jitsu GI, and boots, heritage workwear at one end of the lineup, performance martial arts gear at the other, both produced under the same vertical American supply chain. Retail runs $80 to $300 on mainline. higher for premium denim. Smart men know that 100% USA made at scale is rare in 2026. Most brands that claim American manufacturing actually outsource components. The cotton from one country, the milling from another, the cut and sew from a third. Origin Maine controls the entire chain inside the United States. The buyer who has figured out the integration model buys Origin Maine. The garment is the result of an American supply chain that the broader industry has spent 30 years dismantling. One company is operating that model right now in Farmington, Maine. Brand number 9. Eton, founded in 1928 in Gånghester, Sweden by David and Annie Pettersson. Renamed in 1955, inspired by Eton College in England. Currently owned by Swedish private equity firm EQTAB since 2016. But the Swedish manufacturing approach was maintained throughout the ownership transition. 800,000 shirts produced annually. The cotton is Giza 45 from Egypt, one of the rarest cotton varieties in the world, plus exclusive star cotton from J.C. Holloway. All Eton fabrics are 2-ply true 2x2. Both warp and weft are 2-ply, unlike many premium brands that use 2-ply warp and 1-ply weft to reduce cost. The single most important fact about Eton. In 1992, the brand invented the world's first 100% cotton non-iron shirt. The non-iron treatment is organic, formaldehyde-free. Smart men know what this means. Every other non-iron shirt at every other brand uses formaldehyde-based resin coating. The chemical treatment locks fabric fibers in place to resist creasing. It also reduces breathability significantly. The shirt does not breathe like cotton. It breathes like cotton coated in resin. Eton refused that shortcut for more than 3 decades. The organic non-iron process modifies the cotton fiber structure rather than coating the fabric with bonded resin. The result is a non-iron shirt that breathes like cotton because that is what it is. Mainline retail runs $175 to $285. The buyer who has figured out the chemistry of non-iron treatments buys Eton. Over 3 decades of refusal to take the formaldehyde shortcut is what defines the brand. The shirts reflect that discipline in every measurable detail. Brand number 10, Brooks Brothers, Original Polo Oxford, a critical caveat. The full Brooks Brothers brand post-2020 bankruptcy under Authentic Brands Group is mostly contract Asian production at fused mass-market construction tiers. Most of the current Brooks Brothers shirt lineup does not earn a place on this list. The original Polo button-down Oxford specifically does, because it survived the bankruptcy unchanged. Brooks Brothers invented the button-down collar Oxford shirt in 1896. John Brooks observed polo players in England buttoning their collar points down to keep them from flapping during play. He brought the concept to New York. The original Polo Oxford has been in continuous production at Brooks Brothers since. The 2020 bankruptcy and the Authentic Brands Group acquisition restructured most of the Brooks Brothers product line. The original Polo Oxford specifically retained its construction specifications. American Pima Supima cotton, soft unlined collar, the original 1896 design that built the brand. Must iron construction. No formaldehyde non-iron treatment. Retail runs $130 to $185 for the original Polo specifically. Other shirt lines under the Brooks Brothers name do not carry the same construction standard. Smart men know to ask specifically for the original Polo Oxford. The brand name alone is no longer sufficient. The buyer must request the specific product that survived the bankruptcy with its construction intact. The full Brooks Brothers brand is not what it was in 1985. The original Polo Oxford is. Same Pima Supima cotton, same soft collar, same must-iron construction. The man who knows to ask for the original Polo Oxford specifically is the man who still buys Brooks Brothers correctly. 10 brands smart men actually buy. Different categories. Same pattern. Construction over marketing. Country of origin transparency. Heritage continuity or vertical integration. The buyer who knows what to look for finds value the mass market never sees. Drop your favorite brand from this list, or one we missed, in the comments. The brands smart men buy are not the brands the marketing tells you about. If you missed our breakdown on the 7 men's clothing brands robbing you blind, it is linked below. And our video on the 8 clothing brands men can still trust covers the broader Buy It for Life list. Both follow the construction the same way this one did. Subscribe. This channel follows what smart men know, not what marketing tells them.